Picking up here with some live commentary. As I said, Elvarg has been giving me a lot of trouble. I even went to the Gobi potion store place where you can buy super potions, and was stocking up on like super restores and super defense and super magic that allowed me to use better abilities like wild magic. And still, I think the best I did was getting her health down to like 30% or something, which is still just not at all great. So I looked it up on Reddit, and apparently it is much better to use melee, because even though she doesn't have an explicit weakness, there is a mechanic in RuneScape 3, maybe all RuneScape, I guess, I don't really know. I don't think it's an old school, but anyways, called affinity. And the higher something's affinity to a given combat style, the higher chance you have of hitting them, as far as I understand it. I might be butchering that explanation, but I think that's how it works. So I've been using magic, which Elvark has an affinity of 10 to. She has an affinity of 20 towards range and 40 towards melee. So I am going to switch to melee and give that an attempt. I don't have any melee armor, and I'm way too lazy to make any, especially if this works as well as people were saying. So I'm going to open up the shop, the quest point reward shop, which I've neglected to visit thus far, probably to many people's chagrin, but I'm going to open it because I can go to unlocks here, and let's see, yeah, go all the way over. For 125 quest points, I can get the Trials armor, which is hybrid tier 25 armor, which I'm way past at this point. But yeah, I guess I didn't really need to train my defense if this actually works out. But we also have these magical dice that I can roll, so these are going to give us a ton of rewards, and they're one of the main reasons that questing on any account, but especially in Ironman, is amazing in RuneScape 3, because each of these tier 1 dice is going to give me 250k and a random treasure trail item, which I believe is guaranteed to be a fortunate. A treasure trail item is very highly valued. This is again my understanding of it, because I've never actually partaken in this part of the game myself. These are all deconstructible, disassemblable, I guess, with invention into fortunate components, which were good before for making Luck of the Dwarves, I believe, which is a tier 4 luck ring, which I think you tend to want to get, and I think a few teleportation things as well. But they're even better now, because the ultimate endgame amulet is now requiring quite a few fortunate components. So for reference, they used to be 500k-ish, I believe, maybe a little more than that, and now they go for 900k to 1.1 mil a piece. So yeah, good to stock up on these. They're going to clog bank space for now until I guess build a thing in my POH if it ever comes down to that. But yeah, that'll be something for the far future, and for now, the money is very good. Tier 2 dice, similar deal, except I'm going to get 500k from that instead of 250. So we should be able to continuously come back here at every 25 point milestone and pick up new unlocks. So you can gaze ahead of... Okay, never mind. But you'll see that like at 150 we get another set of or another die to cast, and also at 150 we get Vanquish, which is a level 75 weapon that can be of any combat style, so melee, range, or magic. So this is definitely something you want to go for as an Ironman. Very helpful to have something that high of a level, even if it'll take us a minute to get to, because unlike the armor, you can't downgrade it to a level. It has to be 75. Anyways, that was a lot of rambling for those that are maybe not in the know when it comes to RS3, and just I guess, reinforce my own knowledge of it a little bit. I'm going to look at buying an adamant longsword. I think, yeah, might as well go for it. Adamant sword. And go give Elvarg a shot. Okay, I'm not going to say that was super easy, but managed to do it, which is more than I can say about magic. And I had lots of food left over, and I was using lower tier armor, so yeah, I guess that makes it a lot easier than I expected. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I need to learn more about the RS3 mechanics than just assuming that since it has no explicit weakness that everything's equal against it, because that's the whole reason I was using magic. Like, I had a whole tier of weapon higher than I could with melee, so why would I bother with melee, you know? Anyways, there is Dragon Slayer complete, and we get lots of XP here in strength and defense. Right on. Boosting strength up almost to 39. Unlock some more abilities, which is also pretty nice. We also get a free rune plate body, which is pretty big because it saves us a decent amount of money, or if we wanted to make one, it would save us time. But yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the episode off here because that was my primary antagonist for the episode, honestly. And I guess I learned a lot out of it, so, you know, that's something at least. So something I want to get into the habit of at the end of each episode, I want to take a look at this summary page. I did this on my main series that didn't last very long earlier this year. But yeah, this is pretty much where we're at the end of episode 2. 1015 total level. They just come flying in early game, don't they? 132 quest points, 86 quests completed. I don't know if I trust these numbers for like actual quests. I'm pretty sure this might include mini quests and like sub quests and all that as well. But yeah, lots of metrics here, and this should be a decent way to measure the various different types of progress we're making throughout the series. So hopefully I'll remember to show this at regular intervals and see how things shape up. Anyways, if you've enjoyed the episode, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. I always appreciate them. If you got any feedback, things I should change for YouTube reasons, or tips on what I should/could do in game, I'm all ears. I'm all open to it. Definitely appreciate everything that comes my way. Anyways, hope you guys had a good time, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Hey everyone, how's it going? Cell here, and welcome back to episode 2 of the RS3 Ironman progress. At the start of this episode, I go ahead and unlock one of our first Archaeology relics, our second one ever after the tutorial relic that gives you 500 HP, the Unexpected Diplomacy relic, which boosts our reputation gain for a fair number of things by 10%. I mainly unlock this because I'm doing scarabs and the soul obelisk whenever I can/feel like it, so figured I might as well unlock that one. It's pretty easy to unlock. You only need 36 archaeology and nothing additional beyond turning the relics in, so went ahead and unlocked that just to get some incremental gains on the Gobi reputation and the Menaphos reputation, because I'm going to need quite a lot of it if I want to max out each district. After that, just jump straight back into questing. I don't show all of my D&D/daily/minigame, well, not minigame, but weekly activities, and that'll probably be the case for all of my progress videos, really, because I feel like it gets a little tedious to show all of them. I do show some of them, and if I hit like milestone points, and I'm more comfortable showing them in this first couple episodes because I'm doing post commentary, but beyond that, I don't want to dedicate like a 30-second clip that turns into 2.5 minutes of me rambling, just to show that I did another Gothixian cache or something. That being said, I did pick up a few new activities in this episode. one of which was on screen just a minute ago, the shooting star, or fallen star, I think it's shooting star, distraction and diversion. You can get up to 200 dust from that, or turn in rather, 200 dust from the shooting star per day to the alien thing that comes out of it. And that'll give you 50k coins, a bunch of cosmics, some astro runes, and some gold stone spirits. And the cosmics are very useful early on, and is the main reason I did that. The cash also comes in handy. The first big boss fight I had that I wasn't really going to be sure about, apart from the Witch's House experiment, was Agrith Nar here from Shadow of the Storm. And I expected it to go a lot more poorly, given that I'm wearing basically no armor. But turned out to go alright, and didn't even need to eat that much food, if I recall correctly, yeah. And I do like that they eventually changed this so that you have to unequip Dark Light to get the reward, because I don't like the way Old School does it even, and it's even, or I think it was even clunkier during EOC, where like your adrenaline would come off, or you would start exiting combat, you know, and your adrenaline would start draining, and that interrupts everything to do with everything. So yeah, just gets a little annoying. Next up, I needed 10 fletching for Tourist Trap, because I somehow hadn't gotten around to doing that yet. And there's no like good early quest to boost fletching with. Fortunately, it's one of the fastest goes to train, especially with making headless arrows. Didn't take me too long at all. I also do whatever dailies seem worthwhile. I've been getting a decent amount of construction dailies, and those are massively helpful because construction can be kind of a pain as an Ironman, regardless of the game you're playing. So, most of what I'm doing throughout all this is working towards requirements for various things. So, 40 runecrafting I got accidentally, but is required to make tier 40 magic weapon and armor. So I went ahead and got that. I've also largely been pushing towards the requirements for Evil Dave's Big Day Out, which is one of the reasons I did Shadow of the Storm. And I also need to work on 30 agility, magic, herb lore, and cooking, I believe, are the requirements. And cooking was the big one I was going for. Once again, I tend to prefer macro efficiency, so I tried to do as many quests as I could. Also discovered a new D&D since I've been gone, the Herbie Warby, or Herbie Warby, I guess, if you're pronouncing it differently. You can get an herb bag for 200 points. It was Tuesday when I first did the D&D, so the reset was later that day, and I do end up picking it up eventually later. After that, went on and started RFD, and I needed that for a few bits of experience to help push me towards 30 cooking. I really only needed 25 because I plan on getting the rest of the XP from the Evil Dave subquest, which you need for Evil Dave's Big Day Out anyways. So, again, I know I'm beating on this pretty hard the first couple episodes, but I know that I'm eventually going to do the Tuska minigame for the ability rewards, so instead of chopping trees and burning logs, I trained my fire making with that to get me to 30, which is a requirement for Sea Slug, which got me to the fishing requirement for fishing contest, which is required for the RFD subquest, which gives me cooking XP, yada yada. I'm sure this is all pretty familiar for those that have done a lot of questing in their time. And I moved on to Evil Dave's Big Day Out, which is one of the biggest quests you can do early on since its release. It is absolutely massive. 50k magic XP and 20k in cooking, agility, and herb lore. That's amazing on any account, but as an Ironman, that is just insane. Magic is, from what I've seen, the skill you want to focus on most in terms of combat, so that's pretty much what I went ahead and did. Yeah, so I'll be largely focusing my combat-related XP lamps, if I can't choose like Herb or Prayer, into magic, since that's the Iron Man preferred style. this is the new Violet is Blue 2, sequel to Violet is Blue. And it gives, for no requirements, if you do those, the first quest gives you 3 lamps of 1,000 XP each. The second quest, still no requirements, and it's even shorter, gives you 3 lamps of 4,000 experience each, which is absolutely insane. Once again, really great early quest for anybody. Yeah, Violet is Blue also has some post-quest rewards that you can get at certain level milestones, like I think 40 and 20 and 60 all stats or something like that. So I'll definitely be returning to get those at some point as well. 40 crafting is something I needed to make the next tier of wand and orb for my magic weapons. So went ahead and cut some gems that I got from mining the Alcarid gem rocks, which I do whenever I need to AFK something, and I use like my porter task or ability from the Premier Club. I am going to look at getting a gem bag at some point as well, because it's not that many tokens. It's like 2,000. Shouldn't be that bad, even through normal dungeoneering, though as I understand there are some better ways to get tokens these days. I just haven't ever done them. I also don't know what the requirements are, so I should probably look into that. Anyways, yeah, I mine those occasionally, so just use those up for crafting XP. I've also been keeping on the Christmas event that's been going on, which I neglected to mention last episode. You get cracker fragments or something as you're doing various skills or daily challenges or anything like that, and that allows you to turn or to add to this Christmas cracker, which gives you construction XP until it gets to 100%. And then if you're there to pull open the cracker with everybody, you get a load of construction XP while you're doing that. And then once you open it, you get a reward, which for me anyways has always included at least one lamp that was at least small size, but usually more. So I've been dumping those in Herblore. So in case you were curious where my construction XP has been coming from, that's basically it. Quest rewards, but mostly building up the Christmas cracker in the holiday event. So might as well take advantage of that while we can. Anyways, my butt has been getting kicked by Elvarg, so I attempted to level up my defense to try to get better armor so I can actually survive there, but didn't work out too well. And you see me taking various attempts here to improve my gear, to work on that, but yeah, again, didn't work out too well.